I don't trust Warren. And I'm going to explain exactly why. You know, when we look at the Nolan Wells case, guys, there's a lot of things that don't stand out. There's a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of misconceptions. I believe that the friends of Nolan Well know what happened to him, and I believe that they put together an alibi in order to distance themselves to whatever may have happened to him, to protect themselves. Why I don't trust Warren? I'm going to explain why to you. I'm going to also explain what I believe happened to Nolan Wells and why everyone is ignoring these facts. Now, for starters, Warren was the main person who contacted the mother. He was the main one to contact Christine Wansley. And in his attempt to contact the mother, what it showed me was a man that was concerned not necessarily for Nolan's safety, but the fact that he may have known what happened to him. And he may be one of the only ones that knew. Now, you got to listen to me very carefully, guys, because a lot of people are talking, but nobody's making sense. That's why you got to pay attention. Nolan, got a lot of bugs out here. Nolan, in my opinion, was already dead. And for some reason, this entire narrative that was put together about a boat sinking, in my opinion, is an alibi to cover up what really happened. Now, let's talk about it. Warren contacted the mother after about 12 a.m. in the morning. If he contacted the mother to ask, have you seen or heard from Nolan? It comes across as a situation where someone feels a sense of guilt. Because when you look at all the friends that were interviewed, Warren was the only one that contacted the mother. Nolan, in my opinion, was already gone. And for some reason, Warren felt that he had to say something, because none of the other friends said a word. These are the type of things that you have to ask yourself. Why is it that Nolan's friends didn't check in for him? Why is it that none of them made a call to Nolan's mom to find out? Is he back home? It was almost as if though Warren was the only one that knew Nolan was in trouble. Because he contacted the mom and asked her, have you heard from Nolan? While knowing that Nolan didn't have his cell phone. Now, a lot of people will argue and say, well, Nolan could have used somebody else's phone. Guys, who else's phone? What other friend was there that Nolan can use their phone? What other friend was with Nolan that he could use his phone? That's not making any sense, because that would imply that whoever that friend is would know what happened to Nolan. Nolan was already dead, guys. I do not believe the official story that the boys put out, that they were telling Nolan to get on the boat and he decided he want to stay back with a girl. I don't believe that story, and I'm going to tell you why. If they were telling Nolan to get on that boat, ladies and gentlemen, and the boat was sinking, who would want to get on a boat that's sinking? The very boat they were telling him to get on is the boat that is sinking. Make that make sense, guys. If Nolan is supposed to be a friend, and these are his buddies, and they made a distress call to SUNO, and they said that we're sinking, and you can see in the video footage that was released that you see the guys on the boat tending to the issues. If the boat was really sinking and they were at Horn Island, why Nolan didn't jump into action to help his buddies? So the very boat that Nolan came to the island in is clearly in distress, but Nolan have no clue that his buddies over there need help. And you want me to believe that the very same boat they were telling him get in, that Nolan didn't offer any hand or assistance? Make it make sense, guys. It's not making sense. I do not believe that story that was put out. There is no video evidence that Nolan was being told to get on a boat. That's the issue that I have here, because Warren is the one who said that his buddy, not Nolan's buddy, Warren said that his buddy. If you look at this story, guys, everything starts with Warren saying something. Warren said that it was his buddy that told Nolan, get in the effing boat. So that buddy was not Nolan's buddy. That was Warren's buddy. But at no time did you hear Warren tell Nolan to get in the boat. Somebody else told Warren to get in the boat. But there's no video footage of Warren or anyone telling Nolan to get in the boat. Nobody else is saying that story but Warren. And all the other guys are following along with that story, guys. Y'all can't see it? Y'all can't see what's happening? It's an alibi. An alibi that is designed to protect these young men, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that Warren killed Nolan, because I don't have the facts. What I do have are signs of guilt. Signs of he knows what's going on, but he's just not saying. If you know your friend have no phone, why would you contact his mother and ask, have you heard from Nolan? And why would the public assume that, well, Warren assumed that Nolan could have used somebody else's phone? Well, who? Because there is no other person. Nobody else on that island have any clue about Nolan. The attorney for Warren, if I'm correct, I believe he came out with a statement claiming that they had some sort of witness or people that claim that they saw Nolan on the island after the guys left. Okay, where are those guys? And how do we know that's true? Because I don't believe it. They threw that in the mix because they know their hands are tied. I don't believe that, guys. Just because Warren has an attorney does not mean everybody's telling the truth. You got attorneys that represent killers. You got people that murder people and they have a public defender defending them, and the person's a killer. You would think, why would an attorney defend someone who murdered a child? Why? Because they're trying to get paid. So when you think about it, a lawyer's job is to lie. That's what they call lawyers. Lawyers. Because they're lying. Anyone who claimed that they saw Nolan after those boys left, why they're not being interviewed? And how do you know they saw Nolan and not someone else? You got to think, guys. You got to think, and you got to use your brain. You got to use your brain, guys. Very important. I really believe that Nolan was dead, and something happened prior to that. And the guys had to put together a story about a boat sinking. Because when they were asked, do you want the Coast Guard to come? They said no. Why would you say no? And then Bart came to help with the towing of the boat. When you factor all of that in, guys, it seems like they didn't want no officials around. Now we know the Coast Guard focuses on rescuing people and helping people and all of that other stuff. But at the same time, these were underage young men that were drinking. The Coast Guard have to take into consideration and documentation of all of these key components to the story. You have underage young men drinking alcohol. For all you know, somebody did something stupid while drunk to cause the boat to start to sink. And the young men didn't want the Coast Guard involved because that would open up a can of worms. Because then now they would have to document what they see, whether there's alcohol present on the boat. Law enforcement will get involved if they're underage and they're drinking or appear to be intoxicated. There will be a lot of issues. And I believe that is why they did not want the Coast Guard. If your boat is sinking, you would want the Coast Guard to come in. But they denied that. They said, we don't want that. We don't want the Coast Guard. That to me was one of the first red flags, because it was almost like they're making that phone call to be a paper trail. In other words, we know what happened to Nolan. We know it looks bad, guys. But if we just leave this island and come back home without Nolan, everybody is going to be questioning us. So we need to have something that we can stand on as an alibi to distract from whatever happened to Nolan. And what that's going to be is our boat was sinking. And I really truly believe, guys, that the story about the boat sinking is being used as an alibi to protect the young men from any wrongdoing. We don't have any facts that they murdered him. At the same time, this looked like a clear textbook case of a cover-up. A situation where people are aware of what happened, but they want to separate themselves as far from the story as possible. And I believe that this narrative of a boat sinking is being used to distract the public from focusing on these young men as if though they had anything to do with his death, because it separates them. In other words, you got timeline of events. They use Katie as a punching bag by saying, Katie was with Nolan and that was the last one, and Katie turned around and said no. Nolan said he's getting back on the boat with his friends. So these are very, very conflicting stories, guys. Very, very conflicting stories. And she said that was the last time she seen Nolan, was when she heard the guys say, get on the effing boat. So technically, Katie heard and seen Nolan at the final last moments when Nolan was told to get on the boat. But what's interesting to me, guys, is this. Why is it that they're claiming the last time they seen Nolan was when they were telling him to get on the boat? Why? Why are they saying that, guys? Because they're separating themselves from him, guys. They don't want to have nothing to do with Nolan and his death. That is why they're saying these things. They don't want no one to pin it on them. Go back to the Daniel Irvin case. Daniel Irvin, young man, he ended up drowning, and his white friends tampered with evidence by trying to cover up any involvement of even being near the scene of where he was unalived or died or whatever the case is, or drowned. Now, in the case of Daniel Irvin, his white friends didn't kill him, but they knew he drowned, and they didn't want to get in no trouble because they most likely wasn't supposed to be there. But they began to delete text messages, tamper with clothing, cell phones, everything, in order to hide any involvement to that case. So, if those were Daniel Irvin's friends who did that, guys, if his own friends did that, then what does that say in the case of Nolan Wells? What does that tell you? Come on now. What does that tell you in the case of Nolan Wells? What happened in his case? Think about that. If Daniel Irvin drowned and was left for dead at sea, why did his good friends tamper with evidence if they're his friends? Surely friends would do the right thing, right? Not all the time. So just because these young men claim to be Nolan's friends, it does not necessarily mean that they would do the right thing. This is why you have to have good deductive reasoning skills, logic. You have to be able to understand circumstances and events and understand the nature of the mind of a human who want to avoid accountability. So when you look at this situation, there's a very high chance that Nolan Wells' friends may have tampered with the case, meaning they may know what happened to him. And to avoid any sort of trouble, they agreed to let's stick with a particular story. And to me, I believe that's what happened. I believe that the friends know what happened to Nolan, and they're all in cahoots to avoid any sort of accountability. Because this doesn't make any sense. An island full of people, but nobody don't have a clue what happened to Nolan. But everybody was leaving. Tristan leaving, Warren leaving, all his buddies are leaving, but their boat is sinking. But at no point did Nolan say, hey guys, y'all good? Y'all sinking? Hey, let me come there and help. Nope. Where was Nolan hanging out with? Because he wasn't with Katie. So where was Nolan? Just off and about? Nolan was drunk, guys. Why do you think they haven't released the toxicology results and the autopsy? Why do you think they haven't released it yet? Because they don't want the truth to come out, guys. They really don't want this truth to come out there. And they're stalling with the public. They're stalling with the people, guys. They know good and well that Nolan was drunk. His friends were drunk. Because what this would open up is Nolan's friends were most likely intoxicated and drunk too. Because if the results come back that Nolan had a lot of alcohol in his system and possible drugs, it would open up a can of worms for the friends. So in a way, Mississippi could be holding back these results to hide the truth, to protect the boys and to protect the image of Mississippi. Meaning, there was definitely something wrong with this case. And I think that is what we really, really need to focus on, guys. We really need to focus on this. This is very, very serious. I think that a lot of people have been misled to believe lies and don't realize that these boys may know exactly what took place with Nolan. And they're in cahoots with one another. I do not believe their story. I don't believe it. The more they talk, the more I don't believe it. Because it's like, if these young men were innocent, there's no need to talk. You weren't brought in. You weren't charged with anything. They weren't arrested. So there's no need for them guys to be talking in the public in regards to this case. And now it's like they're after money with their attorney, talking about defamation lawsuits and all this other stuff. So it seemed like everybody's just trying to get paid off of Nolan's death at this point. Everybody's trying to get paid, guys. Everybody's trying to make money at this point. And it's sick. You know? It's absolutely sick. This is why I don't trust or believe Warren. I don't believe his story. I believe that these young men put together an alibi to protect their image. And I can see through it. Nolan may have drowned due to possible drug use, intoxication, alcohol, dehydration, you name it. There's a lot of factors that goes into the case. Or maybe there was a freak accident where he got hit by a boat, probably got injured really bad, and everything is being covered up. There's a lot that goes into this, man. And you just got to use your brain. But something is not right with this story, guys. I don't trust Warren. He knew Nolan had no cell phone. But he asked the mother, have you heard from him? How could he hear from him? How? He had no phone. Then Warren started to contact other guys asking them, have you heard from Nolan? Guys, something ain't right with that. Because Warren is doing all these phone calls asking everybody else, have they heard from Nolan? That don't make no sense, because Warren at no time was trying to tell his friend Nolan to get on the boat. Warren showed no concern for Nolan when it was time for Nolan to get on the boat. But now that they can't find him, now he got all this concern and he's worried. Guys, those are red flags, man. Those are red flags. How many of you had a young brother or a young sibling who took something of yours? You knew somebody took it because it's missing. Whether your younger brother took your shoes, your clothing, your shirt, your jeans, whatever, your Walkman, whatever it is you had, and you searching all over the house for it, searching all over, but they know where it is, but they don't say. They don't come out and tell you that they took it, and you're searching and searching. Your antennas go up. You know that they took it. You know somebody in the house took it because you know you didn't misplace it. And after asking them over and over, did you take it? Did you take it? Did you take it? No, I didn't take it. I swear I didn't take nothing. Why you keep blaming me? I didn't take nothing. Then, after a long period of time of you searching that whole house, wasting your time, the item pops up. And then they say, well, yeah, I did take it. And it's like, all of this could have been avoided if they would have just told you they took it. That's the nature of human beings, man. They will have your stuff, know what's going on, and they won't tell you. So in the case of Nolan, it is very possible that the friends may know what's going on. It could be very possible, guys. It's crazy, man. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up on out of here. Got other content I gotta do. And we're gonna keep you posted. Go get my workout in and head on back to the house. So y'all take care, guys. It is what it is. I'm gonna go get my workout. Gotta go back to the car because my gloves, I forgot it in the car. But yeah, nonetheless, we're gonna head on over here, take a nice little walk back, guys, and do our thing. So guys, let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if you agree, disagree with the content, because something is definitely wrong with this case, and I personally don't trust Warren. I believe that somehow, some way, he knows a little bit more than he's giving off. And especially when you listen to Tristan, it's just a lot of red flags, guys, that I see, and I hope that you see them too. So I'm gonna get up on out of here, guys, do what I gotta do. I gotta get my gloves, come back over here, get my push-ups going, do my workout, put some pain in, and then we could get back to business, man. So give me a minute. I might even take a walk back with you. It all depends, because I got my camera on my tripod. I hate carrying a bunch of stuff with me, but I need my juice. I literally drunk this whole juice right here. I always drink Tropicana orange juice. I don't know why, but between that, V8, drink that all the time. That's why I'm able to have my sodas, because I'm filled with a lot of vegetable juice, orange juice, and I drink a lot of water in between, but I'm always gonna have my soda. But yeah, guys, it is what it is. We're gonna pretty much get these gloves. I don't even know if I got it. I think I do, but let me see. I don't know if I got it. This thing is getting heavy in my hand. Give me a minute. I think I'm gonna walk back with it. I'll put this here so that you guys can pretty much wait while I go. Let me just get this. Gloves. Give me a minute, guys. Put on my gloves so I can pretty much head on over, do my workout. It is what it is. Let's go. Let's head on back, guys. Let's do what we gotta do. So, I'm gonna end. Oh, I didn't lock my car? I don't think I did. Give me a minute. I don't think I locked it. Oh, I did. I did. Always remember to lock your car, guys. So, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. Let me know what you think. Hey, let me see if I could do something with this camera. I'm gonna kind of make the camera float, like if it's whatchamacallit, one of those what do you call those drones? I'm gonna do like a drone effect. Let me see if I can do this. A drone effect. It's like a drone effect. Let me see. Up into the trees. Get on out, do what I gotta do, get my workout going, head on back. Just want to get some content because I'm already at the end of the video. Do my push-ups. I pretty much do 100 push-ups, a lot of leg raises, and yeah, that's it. I ain't really do no walking today, But you got to get my push-ups and whatnot. Probably might just film some. I already done completed the video already. So at this point, we're just working out. So guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video. Do you agree with my take on the case, or what? You know, what's really good? Yeah, so I pretty much do my workout here, guys. This is where I do what I do. Right? It's pretty simple and whatnot. Just do push-ups, and that's about it. You know? That's why when I have on my gloves, people keep asking me, why am I wearing gloves? Well, I do my push-up. And then what I do, guys, is I come on over here and I do this. Let's see. I go over here. I don't know. Maybe this will be a better angle for you to see. I'm not sure, but that might be a good angle. But I'll come over here and I'll go like this, like that. Man. So, what we do, we head right on back, bro. See what I'm doing? Just that simple, fam. Oh no, the screen is bugging out. I don't know if it's still recording. Is it? I don't know if it's still recording, guys. But we're gonna head back. Again, my apologies. I don't know if it's recording or not. But head back and do these push-ups. Head on back. This is pretty much what I do, guys. Multiple times. And that's about it, man. So, let me see. Again, I don't know if it's recording. So if it's not, it's not. But what I do, hopefully this is recording here. Like, I go like this, put your hand here, and go like this. That's just a little sample, guys. So I'm gonna get back to doing this, doing what I gotta do. I'll catch y'all later on with more content. Gotta put it in the pain, and it is what it is. So it's just some bonus footage, guys, for you to get motivated. Again, I'm 49. At the same time, I still focus on my physical health, mental health, spiritual health. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the like button. I'm out. Peace.